Hi, today we're going to be talking about VoIP phones and what they can actually do for your business. We have a lot of new things that come in with them, but equally they do a lot of traditional things, but a lot more easily and a lot cheaper as well. So the traditional phone, this is an old analog phone. This is a Telstra one-touch phone that was around quite everywhere in the 70s. This is a new digital phone. This is a bit of a high-end phone. We've got a video camera on there and a bigger screen on there and a few buttons. But in essence, we can see that the basic format for them is the same. With a headset, some buttons that you can press, and you can listen to the call. But there's a lot more flexibility in the format of the phones themselves. In fact, flexibility is one of the key things about VoIP phones, because not only can you get a desk phone like that, we could also just use a headset just like this on your computer and turn it into a soft phone. And if you're not at a desk, well, why not just have an app on your phone? If you can have an app that runs a soft phone, why not put it also onto your mobile phone? And there's a few other variations in between. So flexibility is one of those key things that you can get with it. Now, along with that flexibility, becomes a flexibility in the location. Because VoIP runs over the internet cables, it literally means anywhere that you have an internet connection, you can get a VoIP phone connection. The only issue you need to be careful of is to make sure that you have sufficient quality in the line to hold the call. But outside of that, you've got internet, you've got a phone, which is a lot easier than a traditional landline like this, because you have to have the wires physically cabled to the phones before you can even begin to make a call, which is quite limiting in today's mobile world. The capabilities of these phones, though, really up the ante quite a bit. The obvious thing is voicemail. We used to have the answering machines, and if you didn't answer the call in a certain amount of time, the tape would kick in and ask people to leave a message. Voicemail is a digital equivalent of that, but it's got a lot more benefits because it's clear, it's easier to record the messages on there, and in many cases with VoIP systems, the voicemails are sent to you via email as well as being available on the phone itself, which then means you can transfer those emails over to somebody else if the message is relevant for them as well. Transferring a call, well, that's one of the things that was available if you had a big PABX system. Well, it's now available fairly easily to just about anybody that's got a VoIP system with a cloud PABX, and that's really cheap and easy to get a hold of these days. Call flows is something that I'll go into in a bit more detail later, but in essence, you can make your calls go through a process which suits your business, which is the way that you want it to go. Previously, you would just have the call coming into the phone, and if the receptionist couldn't answer it, assuming you were even able to have a receptionist, then that was the end of the call. But we can make the call go from one phone to another or ring multiple phones at the same time, and if that doesn't work, we can go to record a message, and there's just so much flexibility in there that that's actually the subject of a complete new video. There's also music on hold that you can get. Probably better known in business as marketing on hold, because you can get recorded messages and have them playing while your customer is waiting for you to talk to them, or even while they're waiting for you to answer the phone. And you can customise these fairly easily, and in some of the systems you can make those messages at will, and you could change your marketing message every week if there was some particular special that you wanted for them. You can also have what's called IVR. That's the one where it says, press 1 to get this department, press 2 to get that. Again, something that was the domain of the bigger systems, but now it's down around the small business level, easy to get a hold of. Usually caution people against using that too much. It is useful in a lot of situations, but in the majority of situations, people would much rather talk to a real person, so we avoid that one if possible. Another good feature is conference calls. So you can have more than 2 people involved in the call, which is particularly useful if you're trying to solve a problem and you need to get multiple people that have got experience in different areas all together on the one phone. And with many cloud PABX systems these days, the others that you call do not even have to be in-house within your business. You could call somebody externally and get them involved on the call. You can have integration with other systems as well. That's probably something which is used in a more sophisticated environment. E.g., you can have the door intercom connected to your phones so that if you're not there at the front office and the door is locked, they can call on the intercom, you can answer it on your phone, work out whether or not you should let them into the building, press a code and open the door so they can come in. Video calls, as I mentioned before, this particular phone's got a video in there, but VoIP phones, because they're in the internet world, it's very easy to add video onto the call. Even if you just have the simple headset attached to a computer. Many computers these days have got webcams built into them, and so you can have a simple video call which goes out. So there are a huge number of features which make it viable for small businesses, and the costs for these phones now are about the same as what you were paying for a normal landline not so long back. What that really means is, as a business, you need to sit and look at what is on offer, how your business works, and what you were going to do to map the facilities of the VoIP system onto your business that gives you the benefit. And that's where we come into play. So we help a lot of businesses. We start at the top and say, what are your processes? What works? Then we have 3 pillars that we call underneath that: data, voice and video. And we look at how your processes work and map them onto those 3 forms of communications and figure out what's the best way to get you value for money within your business. So that's the process that we use to help make sure that you get the best out of VoIP, indeed out of any sort of digital communications these days. If you have those sorts of systems and some questions like that, well, the question is, how do we help you? Just give us a call or drop an email and we'll get in touch with you and we can start talking with you about how we can get your communications working smoother or more easily within your organisation.